Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 9.2, the Soviet turn here in Operation Dark Horizon. And we're well into July 1940, and the game's afoot, as you might say. Interesting times. The Germans have jet fighters and strategic bombers, and the Americans are already helping their British brethren here in England. The Russian fleet is at war with the British. The Russians are at war with the Japanese. Everybody's at war with everybody one way or another, except for the good old Italians, who are just proudly showing off their mighty fleet down here. But I digress. Let's not get into too much of a review. Let's do what we do here with the Soviet turn. And let's go into what our buys are going to be this turn. Well, this is what we're doing. We're going to lend-lease a fighter to the Italians, since they've asked so nicely and requested so nicely. And we're going to buy 2 airborne this turn. We're going to buy 2 Marines this turn. We're going to buy a Strat bomber this turn. And we're going to round it off with our 41 bucks and buy a tank destroyer. And that's going to be the bulk of our buys right there. And moving up, next we're going to do some combats. First combat here is we're going to be taking our troops from southern Sakhalin. Actually, are we going to do that? You know what? I think what we're going to do, we're going to take our troops from Amur to the Kuril Islands. So we'll be going back 1, 2. And that's what we'll do here. We'll be taking these troops here from Amur, and we will be attacking the Kuril Islands. So that's going to be our first combat move. Hopefully we're successful. We don't have any Marines in there. So we'll see what we have with that attack. Now further south here, well, actually, further south, we don't actually have any attacks going on currently right now. We do have attacks in the north here in Finland, and the Soviet 7th Army, which is comprised of 4 infantry, 2 motorized, 2 artillery, and a tank destroyer, along with its air force, is going to strike terror into the Finns and march into the Northern Territory here on our way to possibly Helsinki. And of course, the Ilmarin, destroyed a fighter and sunk a torpedo boat destroyer. Miserable defeat for the Soviets, but nonetheless, we are going to do something about that for sure. And the rest will be non-combats, so I think let's just roll our attack moves and get on with the game. But before we do that, let's roll our tech. Up here, this is what our techs are. Strategic rockets, jet fighters, improved factory, and advanced artillery. So let's roll them right now, get them over and done with. Advanced artillery, miss, and improved factories, 7. That's a success. And jet fighters, that's another success for sure. And last but not least, strategic rockets, and that's a miss. Well, 50% ain't bad, but it's going to be a while before we get some tech going on here, since we're behind the game big time. So, oh well, it is what it is. So, let's roll some attack rolls over here. Let's do the Kuril Islands. So we're definitely, I think, attacking into mountains. So regardless, our infantry are attacking at 2 1s, and the defenders at a 2. And hopefully he doesn't get a hit on the first battle, because the Soviets are going to be taking a pounding otherwise. So these are the attackers, misses, and our defense roll. And it's a 4, thank goodness. Now our troops are on the beach, and we're looking for 1 or less. Or 1, basically. Okay, no go there. And roll another die. 7. Oof, that was almost a 1 and a 2. I'm going to take this little piece of debris out. Roll these guys again. Misses. And we'll roll again. 12. Okay, let's shake them up a little bit here. Oh, look at that. We finally got a 1. So we finally have killed that Japanese on the Kuril Islands. And we get no casualties. Lovely. So let's do that now before we forget. It's part of a possible, and I say possible, victory point down the game, or down the road at end game situations, but I think the Soviets do have a very difficult victory point structure here, so we'll see. So nonetheless, the Soviets have expanded their influence here into former Japanese territory by taking the Kura Islands. And that has made the Soviets very happy. Moving on, though, down here to Finland. So let's do the first battle out of the way that I don't think there is any terrain modifiers. And that's right up here in northern Finland, Lapland. So we'll see what we got here. But well, I guess I should declare what we're actually attacking with in there. So what we're actually attacking is we're going to be attacking with 2 infantry. Actually, well, we'll just put them here on the board. 2 infantry here. And we're going to be taking in a, sorry, not a tank destroyer. We're going to be taking in, what was it? A tactical bomber. Yes, that's what we're going to be doing. A tactical bomber into there. Medium bomber is going to go into southern Lapland with 2 infantry, or sorry, motorized and artillery. And 2 infantry down there. And we're going to equal it out. And up here, we're going to have a motorized and infantry too. So both those attacks are going to have pretty equal attacks. Their air power was different. So 2 infantry, motorized artillery into both those zones. So let's do the northern battle where there is no modifiers. And let's roll, shall we? Okay, so let's roll for the tactical first. And of course we missed, because usually it could be just easy hit. And then we have our artillery, and I'll just show you right here, which are going to be bumped up with the infantry. One's going to be bumped up. Oh, actually, and I should roll the artillery first as a first strike, so it's going to be 3 or less. And look at that, we got a hit. So no retaliatory strike on that, so that's nice. So we take Lapland. Now we don't get any gain with that, unfortunately. That's unfortunate, obviously, and but we do get to move up on our income tracker there as well as our territories that we take. What else do we have? What else? Okay, now the southern battle here, we have our medium bomber, and we got a 6. Look at that. So that is a hit. That's all we need because there's just 1 unit down there. And gonna roll, and he misses as well. So the Soviets move into Finland, taking no more casualties, which is very nice indeed. So I'll clean that up here in a second. Moving on though, what else was I gonna do? Oh yeah, and I just also want to remember China too as well. We only had $2 this turn for China. We're gonna spend one of those dollars for an influence roll, 2 or more, with, once again, these warlords here in Beijing. Maybe we might get some luck. Hopefully not a 12 either, but we'll do that in a second here. So we'll move our income tracker up a little bit more. We're keeping it separately. We were at 33, but because we declared war on the British, we've gone down $10. Big loss for us. So that's where our income is at right now. So let's carry on here with marking our new territory from the Finns, taking back our ancestral homeland, which is obviously very important to the Russians because it was part of our great empire before the Great War. And we'll put that down and take that down. And the Soviet 7th Army will be disbanded for now, since we're going to have units in each territory. We're going to fly these planes back right now to Leningrad, just to get them out of our way. And then in the north here, what we're going to be doing is moving our units in here as well. And our other infantry. So there we go. So now we have 4 infantry. Excuse my fingers in this tight territory. A total of 2 infantry in southern Finland, in motorized and artillery. 2 infantry in Lapland, motorized and artillery as well. We have a few more non-combat movements, and then we'll place our units, and then we can do the Chinese. It doesn't really make a difference in what order of operation we do it so far with this part of the game. So the Russian fleet, though, however, is going to move 1, 2, 3 into Sea Zone A12 to retreat behind the Baltic covers there, just in case the British want to do something. However, sorry about this, I forgot about this. I was going to send this submarine as part of an attack, and I was thinking about this. Hopefully the Allies will let me do it. And we're going to take a pot shot at the Erebus here, the coastal defense ship, just for a bit of revenge for destroying 3 of our subs. We'll see if we get a shot at it. If not, it's worth a shot. So we're going to do our first strike. We're looking for a 3 or less. And look at that. We got it. The Erebus is sunk. Sunk with all hands on board. And no defense because there's no destroyer there. That is just awesome. Just confirm that because I never get much luck in this game. And we also had target select too as well, which was awesome. So there we go, guys. The British have lost the HMS Erebus, a great coastal defense ship left over from the First World War. Victory nonetheless for the Soviets. And that's it, guys, for the attack moves. And like I say, I apologize for not marking that out, but that was the one thing I was planning on doing it because they were here and they could move 1, 2, 3 from that location. Anyways, let's just move on to our non-combat movements, finish those up. Since we are at war, I believe we can move my major factory from Oral-Kursk down here into Transcaucasia. And that's what we're going to be doing there, using up our rail movements this turn. And then we are going to be flying this fighter from Leningrad, a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also down to Transcaucasia. I believe it can make it. Actually, actually with the air base, sorry, it can only move 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be going into North Caucasia, and that's where it's going to be staying down there. Some other non-combat movements. We're going to take these 2 units here, this tank and mechanized unit, from here to go 1 space into down here. Sorry, 1 space into the Donets, the other one into Northern Caucasia, because it was in Oral-Kursk, right? And then we go 1, 2, yes. So they're in North Caucasia as well. What else do we have here? We have 2 motorized. We're going to leave 1 motorized, which is currently in Smolensk, or in Kiev, and we're going to move the other one north. And we're going to drive north 1, 2, because we can't go all the way to Smolensk, which is our destination. We're going to move a light armor from northern Belarusia into Smolensk, 1 light armor from southern Belarusia, 1, 2 into eastern Ukraine. We have 1 motorized here in northern Russia. She's going to go 1, 2 back into Moscow, and I'll put that on the 4th Army marker. And this will be on the 2nd. Just doing some tidying up there, guys. Over here in the east, some non-combat movements. We are going to move this cavalry from Central Mongolia. It's actually in Central Mongolia. So 1, 2 into Kazakhstan there. I believe that's Eastern Kazakhstan. So that 1 cavalry is going to be in Eastern Kazakhstan. And then we're going to move up 2 infantry from Chita up to Amur. 1 infantry from Baracha into Chita, if they weren't already there. And 1 out of Karelian into Chita as well. So we have 2 in Chita, 2 in Amur, and 1 in Primorsky Krai, and then 2 infantry each on southern Sakhalin and the Kuril Islands. I believe that wraps up most of our non-combat movements, except for a few tidy notes. That's right, we have a tank destroyer here as well that was still in Viipuri. It's going to move 2 spaces, and it's going to move 1 back into Leningrad, and then 2 into northern Russia. And yes, sorry, there was a cavalry here down in northern Caucasia. It's going to move 1, 2 into northern Iran to help bolster and defend our new territories down there. And I believe that's it, guys. I think that's it. Planes have flied back to Leningrad. We're going to fly our transport from Moscow into Leningrad as well, into our very tight area. The one place that could have been bigger is probably Leningrad. It can always expand. Now, we're going to place our units, and then we'll get into the Chinese turn. We have one Italian fighter going into northern Italy down here, which is our closest point. We have 2 airborne and 2 Marines. They are going to be going into Leningrad. So 2 Marines, 2 airborne. We have, and then to round off our 5th option, our strategic bomber will also be going into Leningrad. So we'll have quite the colorful Air Force down there. And we have 1 tank destroyer that's also going to be going down here into Smolensk, which is right here. I think that should be good for now. Now let's move on with our Chinese turn. We're not buying anything. We're saving $1. We're rolling, seeing if we can get a 2 or less. Oh my God, we got a 2 or less. This is great news for the C.P.P. Thank God for the influence point too. So now this all becomes C.P.P. And their income, I believe, goes up, I think, a total of 3. Well, that is good news. 1, 2, 3. Right? Sorry, no, we were at 2. Sorry, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we're at 5. 5 for the income, and we save $1. So we get $6 in the end. So that's good. That is great news, and we'll have to change out these warlords to CCP ones at the end. And now we get to roll. Maybe a high roll. What are we going to pick? Let's pick this one here. We're looking for a 12. Oh my goodness, Jesus. We are lucky and on fire today. Russia goes up 12. So from our 23, we go up to 33, 35. That is a good roll. If I'm going to get any luck, it is tonight. $35 plus, I don't know why I'm at 0 and 2. Okay, anyways, let's do that again. New boards, guys. I put the new one up here. I still got to update the old ones here, but it obviously didn't start at 0. It started at 1, or this one started at 0, so that's why I'm a bit off. But anyways, so $35 plus our $2 from Bessarabia and Lithuania, and our bonuses down here as well, gets us a total of $41. No, $42. No, $47 if I can actually do math here. Let's see, 37 plus 6. No, sorry, 37. Hold on. $43 of income. That's even more than we got last turn. Well, we couldn't have hoped for a better turn. So that's what we get, $43. So 30, 35, 40, and $43. Wonderful. Well, Russia needs that after the British hurt the Russians in the Great Battle of the English Channel there. But it's all good. All good in love and war. And we got our revenge. We sunk the Erebus. So take that, Madman Dan. Take that. And yeah, and the Russian Empire still stays in contact. Let's hope it stays that way and nobody gets a little hinky-pinky right now. And we'll go from there, guys. If there's any questions, problems, give me a shout. We'll figure it all out. But yeah, I got to update some of this on my board. Thanks again, guys. Thanks again. And head on over to Wintermute's channel, who's managing the Japanese Empire. And we'll see what happens on that turn coming up. Cheers, guys.